Not when you talking to OC. Game lacing with no fee. You tuned in once, now tune in twice. They say life's a gamble when we rollin' the dice. Well, if that's the case, everything here was 4-3 and 7 on they ass when you talking with OC. Claiborne, real with it, homie, he Bayborn. Ain't tripping on these other podcasts cause they born. Pumping through your dial, it'll be worthwhile. Inhaling from the grass, they yelling that turf wild. Check the profile, every way he move is legit. If he put you on the station, then you know it's a hit. And ain't gon' quit, you can tell the way that I spit. Every word come with flames on it, fire the pit. CCC, 7th letter, we BG. Clocking dollars like we scamming off this EDD. King of the hill, rest in peace, the king of the bill. That's Diz and Mac Dre, boy, I'm keeping it trill. Now we talking with OC. Now we talking with OC.
When you're talking with OC, that's how it go when you're talking with OC. I love my intro. Thank you to Coolio the Underdog for making it, for really coming through for the show. That was one of my first interviews that I ever had. Was talking with OC was Coolio the Underdog. A long time. I'm a long time fan of his music. Long time fan of him personally. Got to know him a little bit better through talking with OC. Got to know him a little bit better throughout the years. He always been a upstanding guy with integrity because everybody that I meet that know him, they speak highly of him. Everybody. I don't care who I've ran into. If they say they know Coolio the Underdog, they speak highly of him, and I do too because that's what type of fella he is. And he's multifaceted in that he doesn't just do music. He doesn't just write music. He doesn't just rap music. He doesn't just sing music. He composes it. He puts together projects. He does a lot of different other things. He's an investment, very savvy investment person, very savvy with his money. I like that as well. And so, you can learn a lot from people. Learn a lot from people. Well, this is Talking with OC. I'm your host, OC. I'm in the building today. I don't got nobody to interview today, but I just wanted to come on and, start speaking about some things that I've been coming across lately. I've been on the internet, looking around at some of these people's quotes and different people, how different people these days thinks relationships should go and all of that type of stuff. And I was just watching this one clip. And the young brother seen this young lady that he'd like to talk to at the gas station. So, he moseys on over to her car and asks her, could he pump her gas? She got an attitude and but she didn't have an attitude like that don't approach me. She just had an attitude where um you can't afford me. And this, that, and other. He was saying all I wanted to do was come pump your gas, but and then they got into a conversation, and then she told him, of course, he couldn't afford her, and then he said, yeah, you know what, you're right, I can't afford you. So he walked over to the next stall that was parked right next to her stall where they was pumping gas, and he was finna jump in his Corvette, and so she looks at that, and she's like, oh, you didn't tell me you drive a Corvette, yeah, and then she said, "What's the ticket on that?" He said, "The ticket on that. Hey, I'm just driving my Corvette." And then she said, and he asked her, "What's the ticket on hers?" And she said, "What she said?" She said she still was saying sticking to that expensive thing. He said, "You ain't too expensive. You driving a Honda Accord." I'm driving a Corvette. You're driving a Honda Accord. You don't even have six figures. How can you have the audacity to ask somebody or tell somebody that's what they gotta be making for the mess with you? So I cracked up at that. And then there's been a lot of this type of stuff on the internet online about women wanting guys to make six figures, and they want them to be this elaborate person. They want them to be um, this person that's a provider, protector, and all of that type of stuff. But they also want him to make six figures. Some of that has to go. Me being a father, me being a person that understands the world and understands that you can't have one without the other. That concept and understanding that you have to sacrifice some things different places in your life that you want to be if you really want to be there. And so being a rich man or a rich woman or a rich person, period, there's certain things that you have to sacrifice to get to that level. And a relationship is most likely the one thing that's really sacrificed to get to higher heights in life per se. But very rarely do you find people that really find each other and they hook up and then they are this power dynamic and then they make it. You very rarely hear about that. Um, but I think it's out there. I think it's out there. I think that can happen. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I think you have to be realistic with yourself when you find a mate. Sure you're supposed to have standards. Sure you're supposed to set boundaries. Sure you're supposed to have all of that type of stuff. But you have to also understand too. What do you have? How are you affecting the situation? Do you have a six figure salary job? Can you take care of the household if the guy falters? Do you want to take care of the household if the guy falters? That's the big question. Do you want to um, help in that capacity or be that person in your own home? Do you want to be that person, or do you just want to be taken care of or sheltered or whatever the case may be? You have to answer those questions for yourself. Me personally, I got to have my own back. You know what I'm saying? But that's not to say that if I was in a relationship, my woman couldn't have my back or whatnot. We supposed to have each other's back. That's the school where I come from. I come from the school where um, two people are, if they're together, that's their ship that they're piloting. Did I say that right? That's their ship that they're piloting. Whatever is between them two and how they make it work, that's how they make it work. I don't care if the woman don't never pay no bills. If that was the dynamic between the two, then hey, that's the dynamic between the two, and they get along with doing that, and they ain't bothering nobody. Hey, I support it. I support it. But if you always having a problem and you always run into social media, if you always run into your family, if you always run it, disrespecting the person that you with behind their back or disrespecting them, period, then that's a total different story, and then that's wrong. But me personally, I come from the school of both adults that's in a relationship. If they want to be in that relationship, they do what it takes to do that. They help each other. There shouldn't be no squabbles over money. There shouldn't be no squabbles over stuff like that because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whoever pays what. It doesn't matter. Because we both gotta live. We both live in this life together. So it doesn't matter if I paid everything. And my girl, if this was the case, and my girl didn't pay nothing, if that was our dynamic, that's our dynamic. This is what we doing, and this is how we rolling. So that I agree with that type of thinking. When you get with somebody, you have to be uh, on the same page with each other. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on the same page with each other. You can't just um, good morning, Safi. Good morning, Safi. My sister. That's one of my sisters. Um, you got to be on the same page with your boo, so to speak. You got to be on the same page with your mate. You got to be on the same page, and that goes to what I was thinking. Another thing that I was thinking about too, which was single mothers and getting with single guys and making a family. That was another thing that came across my feed this week. Another thing came across my feed. It's the guy from the guy's point of view, from me doing it, from me being in that situation. Again, it's we behind the eight ball because we have to. We're looked at as a provider. We looked at it as a protector. We looked at it as somebody that's supposed to come in and not necessarily discipline somebody else's kids, but we looked at it as the person to come in and be there for their mom and try to create this bond between everybody. That's what we looked at. So I think that we're behind the eight ball, so to speak, when we do those things, when we get with a person has a lot of kids or have kids. Period. Kids plural. Period. I think that we are behind the eight ball. But I think it. Don't get me wrong. I think it can work. I truly think it can work, but again, it has to be a united front from the parents. It got to be a united front. It can't be, well, you take care of your kids and I take care of my kids. No, it got to be a united front across the board. We have to trust the person that we with is going to make some great decisions about about discipline, about just about life in general with our kids. So in order for you to get to that point, why not make it a priority to not to bring make it a priority to bring the person in slowly but surely, because that's a big feat to take on, which is somebody else's kids and somebody else's um situation like that. That's huge. That's a huge curve to deal with. That's a huge curve to deal with. So I think that men are behind the eight ball, so to speak, when it come to that. When they come to that, making a relationship like that. And I think women should take it be more a bit more. How should I say it? They should be a bit more. It should be a priority to see and to mix slowly. It should be a priority to mix slowly, not just throw a man or throw a man or a woman in the mix and say this is who I'm dating, and y'all got to respect that, because if they don't respect it, then it's gonna make your life a lot harder, and you have to deal with that as well. So that's one of those things that I think that can work. But you just have to you have to if you two want it to work like that and you want to have a family like that, then you have to take it slow. You can't just That's something you can't just spring on people and expect people to respect it. But you also, the two people in the relationship also have to what is it? They also have to respect each other, and they also have to be on have a united front. If you have a united front and your kids can't split you or they can't do anything like that, then you'll be all right. Um, I speak from experience. I speak from understanding folks. I speak from just knowing these different things about relationships and getting into a relationship with somebody with kids. I speak from experience with that. That's not to say that people have bad kids. It's just to say that relationships don't always work out because of the dynamic. And because of some people just don't get along, and so that hurts the bottom line. That hurts the bottom line. And what you think a woman is going to do? She shouldn't pick her mate over her kids. That's what I think. I think because she has to live with that. The mate can go on about their business and be gone and do whatever it is they're gonna do, and that's the bottom line. As much as I don't like to say it, it's that way. So that's another thing that I've been looking at on my timeline is that, and then um, what been coming down my timeline is about a bunch of child support. A bunch of child support stuff been coming down my time. I don't know why this comes down my timeline. I'm I never had to pay child support. Let's put that out there. I never had to pay child support. I never had to deal with that because I think this is what I think. This is my opinion, and my opinion is gold in this situation because this is my situation. But uh, I never had to pay child support because my baby's I'm gonna say my ex wife she she and I knew that this didn't work between us. Whatever the whatever the relationship that we had, it didn't work between us. But we have kids. She had two kids when we got together, and we had one kid together, which they are all brothers and sisters. So, with that being said, everything that I do is for them. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not necessarily for you, but it's for them. And so if you needed help with anything, you could count on the clock, your hand. You can count on these things to be done by me. You can count on me to help with your rent. You can count on me to help with um, transportation. You can count on me to help with different bills in the house, like light bills and water bills and all that. You can count on me to do that. You can count on me to even put some food in the house. You can count on that because I seen it like this. Uh, my kid stays there most of the time, so that is where I got to help out at. Those are the things I got to help out with. So she knew for a fact that that was good, that was going to happen because I did that. That's what I did. That's something that was truthful. That's one of the things that was truthful about me and about me being in that situation. Now that's one thing that you can hold. Uh, you can put that up there with talking to God. I'm always gonna be that upstanding fella when it come to that. When it come to that, I gotta get busy. So my and which happened where what happened where my daughter became she's 26 now. I never had to pay child support. I never had to go through the court system. But I see a lot of brothers getting shafted by this system. I see a lot of brothers, women putting brothers on child support just so they can take care of themselves, not the kid. They can take care of themselves, and that's to me that's wrong. That's the wrong way to approach it. If you need some assistance because the guy is not around and you need to you need some assistance to for your family to thrive, that's fine. But if you putting a cat on child support just to spite him and despite what he got going on and this, that, and the other, then that's wrong. That's totally wrong. And so I challenge people to when I hear these stories and I talk to people about child supports, I challenge people to fight. Fight for their rights because you got the same rights as she got. You got the same rights as people got the same rights as each other. Fight for your kids. I got some examples. I got a cousin who fought in court for a long time for his kids, and got custody of his kids. It can happen. It may look bleak at at some point in life, but it can happen. You can get that, and then they paying you. But then there's that. But I'm speaking upon the ones that just get railroaded. The ones like they had this one skit or whatever this thing is online where uh the woman got mad at the baby's father for bringing food for his son or his daughter, and there's a couple of them out there, and she's saying you need to feed all my kids instead of just feeding one of you, just feeding your kid. That's dirty. That's dirty in itself. I'm here to tell everybody I'm not doing that. If the situation is like it is where you are handling a household of kids, just give me the kid. Just give me my kid then. Let me have my kid and you can have visitation and you can come over and all that type of stuff. My kid gonna be good. They always gonna be fed, they're gonna be dressed. It's gonna be good. I shouldn't have to sit here and argue with you about me bringing your other kids food and I got to take care of my kid, and I'm barely doing that, or I'm doing that. That's a choice that you have. When I was in the situation, it was a choice that I made. You know what I'm saying? It was a big choice, but they are brothers and sisters. So the choice that I made was my daughter was there. 24/7. So I had to make sure that I made some type of sacrifice, or I made sure everybody ate because that's just how that was. But if I was the guy in the skit where I was asked to bring my kids some food, I'm gonna bring my kids some food, and that's it. I'm not taking care of I'm not obligated to take care of nobody else's kids. I'm not obligated to do none of that. But seeing how I'm the fella that I am, I would have made a way to just, well, let me come pick my kid up, get them food, get them some clothes or whatnot, and then take them back home. Then we don't have to have this conversation ever again. We don't have to have this conversation ever again. So that's my thing. I live in the uh how can we fix this or how can we make this right? I know we may not be together as a couple, but we need to stand and have a united front. There we go, that word again, united front, and we need to make sure that these kids or this kid is okay. We need to make sure that they have everything that they need. And but my job is not to buy hair and nails, and my job is not to buy fun trips. My job is not to do that fun trips for you to go trick off or whatever. That's not my job. I don't finance romance. That's understood off the top. My dad told me that one time. That's why I keep that with me. I don't finance romance, but what I will do is I will take care of my kids or my kid to the point to where they don't need much of nothing. All they have to do is be a kid or be that age that they are. Like I took care of a lot of things as far as extracurricular activities. Which needed to be paid for. I took care of a lot of stuff. I made sure a lot of stuff happened that way, without no complaints. And her mother took care of a lot of the stuff too. Her mother was on. Her mother took care. Her mother was active in all of that too. I can't take all the credit. Her mother was active in everything that she did. Her mother was active in everything that she did. So that wasn't a it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem. We didn't have that problem. We didn't have those problems because regardless of what happened with us, we understood that it's kids that need things, and we need to figure out how we're gonna get those things together. So Christmases, birthdays, back to school stuff, all of that stuff. You still a parent. You still got to do that. I don't care if you're paying $1 million a month in child support. You still got to make that happen. But you also don't have to finance romance. And what I mean by that, you don't have to take care of the woman's personal needs. You don't got to take care of her personal needs. Everything is for your child. Everything is for your kids. So it's up to you to set that shit up that way. There was no way that somebody was going to tell me, Overton, you can't see your kid today, or you can't come up to the school and take your kid out of school, or you can't come up to, or you can't drop your kid off at school, or you can't do this, you can't do that. There was no way somebody was going to tell me that. There was no way that I was going to let somebody tell me that. There's nothing that there has never been a time that came out my mouth. The words came out my mouth as saying she won't let me, or she won't let me doing this, referring to my ex-wife. That's not happening because I understand that I have rights. You know what I'm saying? I understand that where I stand. I don't have to. We don't have to guess with that, and I don't have to live in fear, or I don't have to live in a space where um, I have to allow somebody to dictate to me what I'm gonna do. I can't live in that space. I've never been the one to live in that space. I'm always trying to figure out to find out what I can do. What is the solution? I'm a solution based person. I want to live in the solution. I don't want to live in the wallowing and the negativity. I don't want to live in that, or I don't want to live in the problem, because the problem is going to just have you continuing to reminisce about the problem, and you ain't gonna get nowhere. You just gonna like one of those cats or dogs that be chasing their own tail around. They be chasing it. That's what's gonna happen to you. But if you get out of that circle and you jump off of that hamster wheel, and you move over to what is the solution? How can we what is the solution? What is we doing here? How's we rolling here? Because I mean, it's easy for me to go set up a bank account for my kid. It's easy for me to talk to my teenage kid at the time and get your opinion about what you need and how you need it. It's easy for me to do that. So that's one of the things that we have to understand too. The age difference and the age gap and the age that they're at. We have to understand that so we can understand what is needed. I understood what is needed at that point, and so I worked off of that. I worked off of that. Anybody that I'll tell anybody that'll listen. Child support is a game that needs to be revamped. That whole system need to be revamped. But everybody got rights. Everybody got rights. And so if you choose to be one of those people that don't exercise their rights, then and you leaving it up to somebody else, then that's what you have to deal with. You got to deal with that. You don't have to deal with um, people telling you anything when you exercise your rights to do whatever it is you want to do. Now if you want to put it all off on the woman, and you want her to deal with everything, that's fine. Now you got to deal with what she say, and you got to deal with what the court say. That's the bottom line. I'm not gonna pay $1 million a month. I'm not doing it. And the reason why I'm not gonna do $1 million a month. Sorry, I'm looking at this things that come across my screen. Uh, Oh, this would probably be a good time to say, this is a great podcast, talking with OC. I'm your host, OC. And the way that I'm able to bring this to both my platforms at the same time is, this lovely StreamYard, that I'm on right now. StreamYard give me all the uh things I need, all the tools I need to bring this podcast to everybody, to do this live every time I want to do it, to push it out there. If you had a business and you wanted to do business meetings and you wanted to do business things like that, via StreamYard, they got it all for you. This StreamYard works real good. So go get StreamYard. They let you play with it too. So if you go up there and you get it, and you fill out the registration stuff, they let you play, have a low price for you to play with it, and you play with it, and I bet you'll love it. All the features that it have, wonderful. So there, StreamYard. Uh, so what I'm saying is this: we all have rights. We all have these things that we can and we can't do, but we have to be knowledgeable about them to exercise them. If we're not knowledgeable about them, then we're gonna run from it. People are going to run from it. They're not going it's the unknown. They're not going to go over there and test those waters. But at an early age in my life, I've had some examples of people that really took control of their situations, and even though they had to do some fighting, they fought, and then they got their just due. They got their just due. I got a partner. Me and him was at the we was passing each other at the family law facilitator in Fairfield, long time ago, years ago. What you doing up here? Oh, man, I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm getting my rights, and we bonded. We was good. We were good friends before that. But those type of things right there, when you see somebody else doing what you're doing, it makes you more of a wow, worth your while to do it. And then you want to get more knowledgeable about the situation, and then you want to proceed and do whatever it is you need to do. And that was one of my things. I got another cousin. He has two kids and a wife, and you never hear nothing about uh them having problems with each other, or having problems with their kids, or you never hear nothing like that about this cousin of mine, because he keeps his business. They keep their business in their house. They have a united front, and they don't bash each other. They don't bash each other like the family members. I'm running over here, coming over here, sitting on my couch, bashing his wife, and then he back with her. You don't hear about that. They have a household, and they have a household that runs very that to me, on the outside looking in, they have a household that runs smooth. They may have their problems, I guess, because everybody have their problems, and they go through what they go through, but they are able to do what it takes to be together, because they want to be together, and they don't run the Facebook, and they don't run the different social outlets, and they don't run to nobody for their problems. They try to solve them. They live in that solving the problem area. That's where they live at. And so I love that about them. I love that about them. And that's how I am. I don't like running to social media with my problems. I don't like running to family members with my problems. Oh, this girl and did this woman and did this woman. No, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? What matters is can you two work it out. If you two can work it out, work it out. If you can't work it out, go move about your business, and let that be your business. If somebody else wants to talk and they wants to run their mouth, that's fine. But you don't have to do that with folks. You don't have to do that with your relationship. Your relationship can be between you two, and get strong and do all that. All people should hear about out of your relationship is your anniversary, birthdays. People should hear that type of stuff. That celebrating those type of things. But as far as my problems, and as far as what I'm going through, and as far as I don't do all of that. I don't do all of that. Nope. Nope. And that's the key. I think that's a key thing to keep people together for as long as they are. Because my cousin and his wife been together for, I would have to say, over 20 years. Over 20 years. And I'm gonna say it again, over 20 years, because of the formula that they got in their house, the formula that they got, what they live by, the things that they do, it's just incredible. It's incredible, and so and it means something to them. You see what I'm saying? It means something to them. So with that being said, I think that people need to pay attention. They need to open their eyes and look what's going on around them. If you have a difference of opinion than somebody, or if you think different, it's okay. Everybody doesn't think the same as you. It's cool. Some people are very wrong about the stuff that they think, and that's fine. But if it's not what you think, so what? It's not what I think. It's not what I think. All of this stuff about 50-50 in a marriage, 50-50 in a relationship, all this stuff about first date, who should pay for this, who should pay for that. It don't matter. It don't matter. If but what does matter is when people try to do things that's slick. You see, that's when it matter. That's when it started mattering. I've been watching some of these things on the internet. The woman want to go out on a date. The man want to go out on a date with the woman, but the woman, when he pulls up, she asking him to pay for her babysitter. That is wrong. You can't do. You can. I mean, you don't got your stuff in order, your personal stuff in order enough to go on a date. You shouldn't be going on a date. Shouldn't be going on a date. That shouldn't be happening. Your kids should be first. Now you ask, and now I'm gonna put myself in this situation. If she was asking me to pay for the babysitter, no, thank you. You need to be at home with your kids. That's what you need to be doing. So I'm gonna allow you to do that. And I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I ain't finna be sitting here waiting on you. I'm not finna be sitting here arguing with you about what I don't have and what you need and this. That. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not arguing with you. You obviously don't got your shit in order. So that means you don't want to be out on a date. That means you don't even respect me. So you don't even want to get to know me. You just want to go get some food. So that all of those things, that's what that tells me. So with these women out here, that got these false narratives about how to date, then y'all keep those. Y'all keep those. I gotta sit up here, and I seen another one. The dude have to sit up here and pay for nails and hair before y'all can go on a date. Fuck that. Fuck that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't finance romance. Let's go back to what I said earlier. I don't finance romance. I'm not doing that. If only thing I'm gonna pay for, I can pay for the dinner. I can pay for. Matter of fact, I can pay for everything that we do on a date. But I'm not finna pay for what you supposed to have done for yourself already. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not my job. That's not my. That's I don't. I didn't sign up for that. I gotta come ready. Why you not ready? I'm ready. Your boy, I'm getting ready to be a rich nigga. Cause something come next week, somebody gonna get knocked the fuck out. But yeah, I'm coming ready. I'm ready. I'm coming ready. I'm picking you up. I'm taking you out. I'm ready. But if I got to do something other than what it is that I'm already doing, I can't do that. I can't commit to that. I can't commit to that. And then if you want to call me broke, that's fine too. That's fine too. You can call me broke if you want to. Um, you can say whatever you want to say about me. You can say, but you can't say that I tricked off on you on your motherfucking ass. Excuse my language. Facebook and what is it called? YouTube. Excuse my language. I ain't trick off on your motherfucking ass. Plain and simple. I ain't do that. I'm not doing that. That's not who I am. I don't. I don't. I've always been that way. I've always been that way. I've always been that way where I don't have to chase nobody. But if it's somebody that I want to get to know, I know how to ask. Is attention. Gary, you crazy. The only thing you should be paying for is attention, and that comes with the dinner. You gonna get my attention. I'm gonna give you your attention. If you call it paying for it, whatever. I ain't never paid for nothing. I mean, as far as I ain't never paid to be in somebody's company. I ain't never felt like I had to pay somebody to be with them. I gotta pay you to be with me. I ain't never did that, and that's another obstacle, or that's another what is it called, discussion too as well. I ain't never paid for none. I ain't that all of that is free. Conversation is free. Intimacy is free. All of that is free. I don't pay for none of that type of stuff. I don't gotta pay for that type of stuff. I don't gotta do that. It's people that like me. It's women that like me. I don't gotta put up money for that. I ain't never had to do that. I think that's because where I come from. Where I come from. I come from Vallejo, California. I know that there's some Captain Savems out there, but the family I come from, the family I come from, I ain't never that ain't never been one thing that we did. That ain't never been a thing that we did. We don't do that. And if I have to bypass the baddest chick in the room for that, I bypass the baddest chick in the room. You go handle your business, and I'm gonna handle my business, and we gonna see how the businesses stack up. We're gonna see how that happens. I don't gotta do that. Never had to do that. And I don't understand why cats used to get caught up in that whole thing about oh, I got to buy this, or I got to buy that, or I got to do fuck all of that. If she don't like you from the beginning, she ain't gonna like you in the end. If she don't like you because of what you can't do for her, or what she don't like you. So you ain't gonna get nowhere because she don't like you. Now if you paying for it, then that may work for you. But I ain't never put no money down on the table and said, you do this for this. No, I ain't never did that. I didn't took people on dates. We didn't went, but I'm not sitting up here acting like it is something it's not. I'm not doing that. I'm not finna sit up here and be the only one uh tend to be having a good time. I'm not doing that. If the woman can't if the woman come up with some outrageous stipulations, you can keep those. You can have that. You can have that. That outrageous stipulation, you can have that. One time I was messing with this chick. I went over her house, and her baby daddy came over. I'm like, oh, okay, this okay, we met, we chilling. Uh and I got this feeling. I said, well, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm finna get up out of here, basically. So I dapped him up, hugged her, and then I left. Not 10 minutes later, when I'm driving on the freeway, I get a phone call from her asking me, can I help her with her PG&E bill? Nope. I'm not doing that. That's not my job. Your baby daddy was sitting right there. He was sitting right there. You should have asked him, and y'all should have came up with something to deal with that. Don't come at me. Don't ask me for that. And then want to throw in my face when I say no, want to throw in my face what she has done for me as far as, the intimate stuff, and as far as all this stuff. That don't really mean nothing to me. That don't really that, if you were doing that for me to say yes to paying your SMUD bill or your PG&E bill, then something's wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Something's wrong with you. That's all I say. That's what I say. That's what I say. That's all I say. So I don't play that, man. I don't play that. When it comes to meeting somebody, if it's not platonic, if it's not something that's organic, if it's not something that both people are feeling, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I learned that a long time ago. I done seen too many niggas, excuse my language, I done seen too many niggas fall on their face because they want to think something is there and ain't nothing there because she cute or she pretty and this, that, and other. Fuck that. She should be doing something for me. Where I come from, she should be doing something for me. You should be giving me. Shit. That's how that where I come from. That's how that works. That's one of the biggest things that I was taught as a young man. As a young man, I came up in a good era. I came up in an era where, uh, you know, uh, everybody is getting everybody. Let's get a telly and don't tell nobody. I came up in that area. That era. Max and pimps and all of that type of shit. But my thing was, I'm not a physical dude. I'm not gonna hit a woman. I'm not gonna make a woman do nothing. But I'm gonna tell you like this. They want to do for you because of the type of fella that you are. if somebody don't want to do for you because of the type of person you are, not what you got in your wallet, not what you can do for them, then it's all good. But if they get to acting like that like they want to be digging off into your shit, no, let them dig off into the shit. You can have the shit. You're gonna stink in a minute. You can have all the shit, but you ain't finna dig all off into my finances. You ain't finna dig off into how I support myself. You ain't finna dig off into all of that, because all of that is spoken for. It's spoken for. It's not made to be sitting up here given to you to fuck off. That's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. Now don't, if you ask me, I got some friends that used to go to Oakland and go to these different spots and pay these broads to do whatever the broads was gonna do. That's they whatever they did. I ain't never did that. Never did that. I ain't never got no hoes and had to pay the hoes to fuck me. Excuse my language again, Facebook and YouTube. I ain't never had to do that. I ain't never had to do that. And I can stand on that. I can stand on that today. I stand on that today. Being 50 years old, I stand on that today. I don't need that. Somebody out there want these 50-year-old nuts. They want these 50-year-old nuts. I'm just saying. That's how it worked. I didn't put that many miles on myself like that. So that's why today I don't feel bad like some people feel being 50. I don't feel worn out. I don't feel like I'm a sucker. I don't feel like none of that stuff, because I don't treat myself like that. I love myself. I don't treat myself like that. And Gary, you're right. They tricks. They tricks. Tricksies. I never where I come from, that's what you can't be. You can't be that. You can't be that. That's something that you're gonna be ostracized for. That nigga is a trick. He's a trick. Anyway, he tricks. Go get tricks him for kids. Go get him some tricks and sit him down in front of the table and have him eat, it ain't nothing happening with me on that tip. That's why when I look at these skits and I look at these broads and I'm calling them broads because that's how they represent themselves. When I look at them talk, uh, when I look at them talk about what they out here soliciting, what kind of guy they out here trying to get, and all of that type of shit, and what the guy's supposed to be doing for them, and all of this type of shit. I cracks up. I cracks up on one hand. I cracks up, but then again I think about it. I be like, man, you don't even have uh you don't even make a million. You don't even make $1 million a year. You don't even make over $100,000 a year. How you expect to get? How you expect to get somebody that make $100,000 a year and you don't even do it for yourself? That's the big question right there. How do you expect somebody to do that? How do you expect somebody to do that? And it's but it's people out there, it's tricks out there that do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I look at some of these different uh NBA. I look at some of these different NBA locker rooms and who been messing with who and all that type of stuff. I look at it. You got a kid that's in the NBA locker room. Five got two got mother got two baby daddies. Your brother and his daddy is on the same team in the same locker room. Come on, man. How does that work? How does that work? And then you wanna talk about or try to demasculate other men, and you ain't shit. And you ain't shit. You ain't shit. And so that be that type of stuff that I be talking about too. Excuse my language, Facebook and YouTube. But that's what I be talking about. How can you ask somebody to do something you wouldn't even do for yourself? How can you do that? That's beyond me. That's why I taught my daughter, uh, the importance of taking care of yourself. Not allowing nobody to take care of things that's vital in your life. Now, I can't allow nobody to do that. I can. I need to take control of certain things in my life. And so, with that being, I'm not finna be. We're not finna wake up one day and somebody telling me that I have to leave the house. I gotta go. I gotta go. We're not finna wake up to that. That's not what we finna wake up because Um, you don't control that. No one controls that, and that's what these women's be wanting to do. Yeah, yeah, they be out there doing they out there doing that. They out there doing that. And so I'm me personally, I ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. See, so when you take care of the stuff that you're supposed to take care of for your life, and you have your stuff together, you want somebody that's equal to that. You want somebody to be able to take care of themselves, not me. I want you to be able to take care of yourself. What do you do for yourself for self care? That'd be one of my questions. How do you take care of yourself? Do you live at your house? Do you take care of yourself? Do you take care of your own bills? Is it a problem? Is it a struggle? As much as I want to be a protector, a provider, as much as I want to be that guy that's looked at on that level, I'm not going to compromise my life, my well-being. I'm not going to compromise what I built for me. I'm not going to compromise that for somebody that just is a hanger oner. Somebody that just want a little bit of money here and there. This thought brings me to another thought. This lady and this man are married, and she gets caught uh putting money in a different account from their account that they got together. She been taking money from that account, putting it into a different account, and didn't tell the dude. He had to find out by going to the mailbox, getting a bank statement from an account he knew nothing about. And then he confronted her about it, and her question to him, I mean, her thing with him was, what if you decide to leave me, and I got to have something, and I got that to me is, you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for failure. You know this ain't working. So I'm out here trying to I'm out here finna try to get everything I can get before it happens. So you already know you not invested. You not invested. So that type of shit, man. It be that type of shit. I'm not marrying for security. Cause I make that on my own. I make security on my own. I make it for me. I'm secure what I got. I can be secure without being married. If I marry again, it's gonna be for I really like being with this person. I really love being with this person. I want this person in my life all the time. That's what it's gonna be for. It's not gonna be for what you can do for me or what I could. It shouldn't be what I can do for you. It should be us being able to be together like that. Now everything else is gonna work itself out if we are equally yoked. If we are equally yoked, all that other stuff is gonna work itself out. But that's just not something I'm ready to do. I'm not ready to take care of a grown person. Um, per se. I'm not ready to hold your hand and tell you this is what you need to be doing every day. I'm not because when I'm an asshole. When I'm head of the household, I'm a fucking asshole. Believe that. I'm an asshole. When if you involve in me, if you involve in me in something you got going on that's janky, or that's illegal, or if you involve in me, period, in anything, you gonna hear my mouth. Plain and simple. I'm gonna want to know the ins and outs, and I'm gonna ask all the questions. I want to know the ins and outs. So it may not be um, something you want to hear, or it may not. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be respectful. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be respectful. I know how to be respectful and asking questions, and when I'm involved in certain things, I know how to do that. That's just something I know how to do. But just let it be known that it's not gonna be. You're not gonna sit up here, and I'm not gonna be sitting up here holding your hand through shit you should already know. You should already know these things, and if I'm asking you to be that way, I'm the same way. I'm already that way. If I'm asking you to listen to what I'm ask, if I'm asking you to listen to me and what I got to say, I could be the same way. I can listen to you and hear what you got to say. But if I'm head of household, like it's supposed to be, if I'm head of household, then we have to come to some type of agreement between each other. We have to hold that united front, and that's that word I've been using all this live this talking with OC show. I'm talking with OC. This is talking with OC. I'm your host OC. TWOC. Yeah, this. Talking with OC, what is it.com. Go get all the shows. You get all of this stuff is automatically updated. So talking with OC.com is a great place to go get it. But yeah, I just don't play that, man. I don't play that with relationships, period. I don't play that. Now, provided I'm in the situation I'm in right now where I'm not hitched to nobody, but I do I do see somebody that I may want to pursue. If I want to pursue them, I can, but I'm not finna sit up here and be on a different page. We're not finna be on a different page. It's not gonna happen. We're not finna be on a different page. Not happening. We got to be on the same page. Now, if I know in relationships you have different disagreements and you have different points of view and you have different things that go on like that, and so those things can be looked at, and those things can be worked through. Those things can be worked through because if for the most part you want to be with each other, then that's how that's going to be, and that's what you want to do. But as far as me sitting up here holding somebody's hand and walking them through life, or paying for everything, or just being like that, I'm good. I'm good with all of that. I'm good with all of that. I'm good. If you can't take care of yourself, I shouldn't have to give you an allowance. That's for kids. That's for fucking kids. Giving a grown person allowance. Who does that? I give you $5,000 a month. I'm not acting like that. I could be a billionaire. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Where do you work? What is it that you do for you? How do you what you got to have something that you do. What do you do? That's my question. What do you do? What are you passionate about? You know what I'm saying? What the hell are you passionate about? What do you want to do with you? You know what I'm saying? I want to cheer. I can't cheer. I can't cheer you on in something that you passionate in doing, other than sitting on my motherfucking couch, watching my motherfucking TV, eating my motherfucking snacks. I can't cheer you on for something else. Come on, man. I got to be able to cheer you on for something else. I got to be able to come to award ceremonies about you. It got to be about you, something that you've done. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. That's what be killing me. I got something that I'm very passionate about doing in my life right now. I'm passionate about helping these people become better people through recovery, through counseling, AOD counseling. You know what I'm saying? Drugs and alcohol counseling. I'm passionate about that. So that's what I do. Right. So if you come into my life and then you try to change up what I do, and you try to change up my schedule, and you try to, no, we're not doing all of that. What we can do though is we can sit down and we can plot and plan our own schedule so that we can do things together. We can do that, but don't come in trying to change what I do, because you don't have the same passion as me. You know what I'm saying, about something. Don't do that. And I'm telling you that be that whole thing to me. I don't. What's attractive to me in a woman is a woman that is a go getter about herself. If it's a woman is attractive to herself, she's not sitting up here comparing herself to folks. She's not sitting up here saying, "Oh well, this girl is has a better butt than me," and this girl. No, she is passionate about what she does. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she does, I don't care what it is. Whatever she does, she's passionate about it. Well, I can't say whatever she does. She got to be. It's got to be something that's respectable. But other than that, if she's passionate about what she does, that's attractive. That's sexy. That's attractive to me. When you are doing what you're called to do. Hey, if you're called to sit on somebody's couch, it's not gonna be mine. If you think you called to be at all of these different shopping things, that's I'm not your provider. I'm not your bank. I thought getting in a relationship with somebody is you supposed to be in a relationship with somebody because you care about them, you love them, you feel good with being around them, all of that type of stuff. The money shouldn't have nothing to do with it. Should have nothing to do with it. Because two people, I just seen two people be, check this out. I just seen two people be broke together and have a wonderful relationship. I just seen two people be, well off and have a wonderful relationship with each other. I just seen two people uh live in this world and live in this country and uh have all their needs met and be in a wonderful relationship with each other. We can go the other way. I just seen people that rich in relationships that can't stand each other. You know what I'm saying? I just seen people, but it's all the attraction. It's all how you two want to be with each other. That's talking with OC. I'm your host, OC. And I hopefully people out there come to get some realistic goals for themselves, so they can be in a realistic relationship with another person. And we have to make these decisions to um, um, that's good for us. We got to make these decisions that's good for us. And what I mean by that is don't lay down with somebody, have a baby, and then cuss them out later. What was that for? What was that for? So let's start understanding we have choices that we can make, and let's make the better choice. I don't care if the better choice is you know what, I ain't messing with you tonight. I'm not messing with you tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not messing with you because um, you don't even have it for yourself. Let's start there. You don't even have it for yourself. That's not to say that we can't get it together, but yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, and I'm not willing to see with you how that's gonna work. You see what I'm saying? If if you have a genuine love for somebody, it's gonna show. But if you don't, and things get rocky, and you break up, it's always gonna be somebody sitting there pointing their finger. It's always gonna be somebody sitting there talking bad about that other person. It's always gonna be something like that. I never do that. I'm not talking bad about nobody. I'm not talking bad about nobody that I chose to go get intimate with. I'm not talking bad about nobody like that. I chose to do that. You see what I'm saying? I take responsibility, accountability for my actions so that I can so that I can live guilt free. I can live without shame. I can live without all of that. So we got to make better choices. Before I go, I just wanted to say that we got to make better choices with the people we would. Excuse me, I can't even talk. We have to make better choices with the people that we want in our lives, that we have in our lives, and all that type of stuff. We got to make better choices. Choices. That's what it is. Choices. Making better choices. Because there's no way that I'm finna sit here have a kid by somebody and I'm talking bad about them, their character. I'm talking bad about who they are. I'm talking bad about this, that, and the other. There's no way I'm doing that. I chose that. I chose because I mean people can see. You can't tell me you didn't see that. You can't tell me you didn't see that how that person was before y'all did it, before y'all did whatever y'all did. You can't tell me that. Nobody in this world can't tell me that. You can see it. You can see. Just like I had a relationship one time before I go. Let's talk with OC. I'm your host OC. I had a relationship one time where I seen the young lady uh at odds with her parents. I seen the young lady at odds with her some of her friends and family, and I seen what the reasons were about. And some of them were petty. Some of them, you probably would have took a therapist to iron out, but or time would heal that. But why in the hell didn't I think that attitude would be reversed and try to be taken out on me when I am not telling her, or when I am telling her no, all of that stuff is going to be reversed on me. Why didn't I see that? After looking at all of the shit that she mad at with her parents and friends and all of that type of stuff, it just seemed to me that if you tell this girl no, it's gonna be a problem. So when I did that, guess what? It was a problem. Everything blew up. Just because I'm sitting there saying I'm not dealing with that. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be the face of that. No, I ain't doing that. So when I start setting boundaries, that's when the disrespect, and that's when all of the finger pointing, and that's when all of that behavior that she's displaying with them was directed at me. Now I'm not gonna talk bad about the girl. The girl just had her problem. That was her problem she had. But she was a good student. She was knowledgeable about a lot of things. She wasn't a slouch in no way, shape, or form or fashion. She was gonna get it for herself. And that's just how that was gonna be. She was gonna get it for herself, and she was gonna get it. Period. She wasn't gonna be stopped. And those are the things that I loved about her. Still love about her. But that's what I loved about her, and that's what I love about a woman that's gonna create opportunities for themselves and be passionate about that and go get that and want to share with you when she want to share with you, that makes you want to share with her, and everything's good at that point. When you both sharing back and forth, that's great. But also understand too, these are choices we have to make. And that's my point. Let's make some good choices. Let's understand what things are, what they are. Let's understand how they play out. Play the tape in our head and make a decision based on that. And never ever take your problems to social media. It's talking with OC. I'm your host, OC. I'm done.